touched on a recent event in Stillwater. There was several men with Aryan Brotherhood vests that went through downtown, and I had done a rally about a month ago, or a little over a month ago, and all I knew of Stillwater was lumberjack days back in the day, and my friends would be like, we're gonna go to lumberjack days and get plowed, and I'd be like, okay, good, have fun. But I never really went to Stillwater or experienced the culture here until I was at that rally, and there was a man on a $250,000 yacht shouting Trump, 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 all lives matter. And, while this person was trying to honor all these lives that have been taken by police brutality. And then less than a few weeks later, you see Aryan Brotherhood vests kind of marching through the street. What does that mean to this community? What does that mean to you? Do you feel safe here? Or what are the connotations of all those happenings, I guess, to you?
I feel like we're still processing it personally, but I could start to feel the unrest in our community. I don't know if any of you would agree with that. After George Floyd, and we were maybe 2 weeks in to having some discussions happening, and then I could just feel like people were starting to get agitated. Like, we're done talking about this now. So when I would go out, I could just, energetically feel like going to Target, people looking, or either trying to overly engage, or people kind of looking in like dismay or disgust. And so I was just almost like, you guys, something's not right, So when that happened, it did not surprise me, but it did at the same time, And I think the result of it, in the conversations that are still kind of mustering around it, what I was happy to see is that they started talking about the ways in which white supremacist groups try to intimidate, and that was being like kind of honored as justifiable, because you are also getting on the sideline conversation of like, well, what, they didn't do anything, and to me that's quite the white response, right? Like, if you've never been on the other side of that hate, and or I would get a lot of questions of like, well, I mean, what would they really have done? Where you're just like, okay, it could go from here to here, and I can't even believe I'm having to explain this. So it brought up just a lot for me in that, and a lot of it too in conversations I've had with white family members, and even my husband, is like, how do we get people, if they're not directly experiencing that line of hatred coming straight at you, get them to wake up to like really understand it's there and prevalent. It's happening right underneath your nose, and you have no clue. And that's the sneakiness a lot of times of the white supremacist hate groups too, is they know how to work a crowd so that they are just directing it at their target, so that they aren't going to be blamed for things.